Merry Christmas, everyone. This is the video card option. It's not as easy as it seems. But we've had a spectacular year. I started the year with a trip to Pennsylvania in January, which included a hike up to Hawk Rock Overlook with my geologist friend Tom. We climbed up the end of a plunging syncline of sandstone beds and cross-cutting diabase intrusions. The hike was followed by a short visit to IUP and a long overdue visit with my Aunt Patty and my cousins. Back in Georgia, I continued my 3-time-a-week hikes up Kennesaw Mountain where Kate would join me every once in a while. But then I dislocated my kneecap in the spring. It wasn't all that bad, and after a few weeks of therapy, I was as good as new. In fact, I was on top of old Kennesaw Mountain this morning to watch the sunrise in the cool 40-degree air and also examine a boudinage of garnets and amphibolite gneiss. Back in July, I made another trip north that included a stop at Mole Hill near Harrisonburg to view the remnants of a 47-million-year-old volcano with my geologist friend Shannon and her husband. Talk about overdue visits. I stopped in to visit my IUP roommate Dave, who I hadn't seen in 27 years. He lives in his new home just over the mountains from the volcano, after which I went on to Worcester, Pennsylvania for a septuagenarian sleepover at the Smith's farmhouse with my Methacton friends Ted, John, Andy, and Lighty. We all spent one last summer night at the farm before the new owners moved in. As summer ended, the wedding season in Georgia was just getting started. Lori and I enjoyed seeing Paula's son get married, and the following month it was Thelma and Jim's daughter, Kayla. However, Kayla and Jared asked me to marry them, so I got ordained and inspired. I bought a tux, and I learned how to tie a bow tie. My little speech was part reminiscing about the happy couple and part Bible verses with a snippet of Les Mis lyrics. It was flawless if you don't count the breeze that blew my notes out of my notebook and extinguished the unity candle. But as any good officiant would, I had a handy lighter next to me and I reignited the candle. We still had one more wedding to attend, this time as father and mother of the bride. After all we had been through from the time we first brought Maddie home from the Anchorage hospital, the time in Honolulu and in Houston and all those teenage years until well after college graduation, she and her longtime fiance Duncan decided to get married. Nothing had prepared me for that honor of walking my middle daughter down the aisle in that special dance with the new bride, Madison Miller. They were wed on a perfect autumn day at the State Botanical Gardens in Athens, Georgia. Kate, the maid of honor, and groomsman Nick stood by their sister and their new brother-in-law as Lori and I watched through our misty eyes. We were blessed to see that so many friends and family members had made the trip, especially Maddie's godmother Colleen and husband John, Aunt Sandy, cousins Holly and Jeremy and his wife Tuba, and Bernie Goldstein were there too. And thank you Ann and Bill and Kelly and Tom and Tim and your whole family for making the trip. With the wedding over, I started a transition to my new job at the Georgia EPD by shuttering my environmental geology consulting business. I'd been doing that for a decade and a half. Now at work, they introduced me as the new geologist. After 35 years in consulting, working for the government is a complete 180 from the environmental geology work I had been doing. The timing wasn't ideal, however, since Lori's surgery was on day 2 after starting my new job. And now it's been a month and I'm settling in. I take the bus downtown a couple days a week and I telework from my desk the rest of the week with the Hallmark Christmas movies playing in the background. Lori and I are enjoying the holiday season just in the same festive way we have for the last 29 years, although instead of kids in the house, we have Murphy, Ellie, and Henry. And we feed them and we take care of them, and in return they snuggle with us and they lick our faces and they paw us for attention and dog biscuits. As for our human children, Kate lives in her house just up the interstate, and she continues to teach at high school. She helps Lori and me with all sorts of things, from shopping to technology. Nick is in Lithia Springs, about an hour and a half away, and he manages projects that include building sets for commercials, movies, and trade exhibits. He's an engineer and a builder with the patience of a saint, who never minds the trips to our house to help the two of us. Maddie and Duncan are living up there in Baltimore, well, actually Columbia, Maryland. Maddie is working at the museum with Mastodon Shorty, and the newest member, Duncan, is the top cop and the head of security at a cool school in Washington, D.C. Well, this Christmas we'll all be together again, back in our little house in Woodstock. So until next year, or until we see you again, enjoy the holidays and have the merriest of Christmases. And P.S., red is positive.
Hey everybody, it's my turn. Lori here, as the display says. I'm gonna sit down here real quick. John's pretty much hit most of the highlights. I'm at home until January, recovering from rotator cuff surgery. Things are going pretty good, as I'm especially learning to work with my left hand. And I'm extremely grateful that my amazing family was around. My sister came in and stayed the week with us, which was really helpful because during that time we were having Thanksgiving, the wedding had just been finished, John was starting a new job, so it was really kind of hectic, but we made it through with flying colors, and I'm still have a good shoulder, working on it. I did get to do some traveling this year. This summer I went on my road trip with my BFFs, Thelma and Sonia, and we flew into Boston, drove up to Maine, and then back down to Boston. And talk about three ladies on the road. We were having a great time. In preparation for the wedding, I also got to go up to Maryland and spend a long weekend with Maddie and Duncan and helping them get ready for the wedding. And we also got to go see Duncan at his new school there in DC. And then I got a private tour of the Jim Henson exhibit at Maddie's museum, which was great. I got to spend some time with my old favorites. And then we had the wedding of the year. I mean, it was amazing. I'm still in awe of all the hard work that everyone put into, made it an absolute magnificent affair. And getting an amazing bonus son, Duncan, and getting to witness their love is pure delight. They're both doing so well, settling down into married life, and we'll be excited to have them all home for Christmas. There they are. They went in one of those Iron Man challenges or something, so they did that. But anyway, Kate and I continued to the challenging special education world. I'm in awe of her dedication and special in her energy. She works nonstop, but she's very happy. This is my class right there with my coffee cart that we're doing really well. So I'm just not sure what to do when I'm looking at retirement in the next year or two, so I'm just not sure what I'm going to do. We'll have to see. Nick's doing great. I'm so thankful he's able to use his skills to do some fix-ups around the house, and we love having him out to spend a couple of, the weekend with us or hang out with us. But John and I are navigating the empty nest syndrome pretty well. We find dinner on the fly with TV trays is just fine, and our fur babies continue to supply us with endless love and attention. But I do hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. We are so grateful of the support and kindness and love that you all continue to show us. I'm looking forward to reporting back here next year with some exciting events happening next year. John and I celebrate 30 years of marriage. Isn't that bliss? And I turned the big 6'5", which I'm not greatly proud of, but it'll be fun. So in the meantime, I hope you guys have a fabulous new year and a happy holidays. And thanks again. We enjoy catching up with you guys. Bye-bye.